we go. All right.
Oh
Well,
no!
I guess Dom is still in his car, but that's all good. We're
Listen, man,
we're
I'm just
live.
enjoying the night, dude. It's like 80 degrees out here. I'm
I know. I
living
was
in the
outside
sun right
earlier this
now.
morning.
I'm living in the sun. It's beautiful.
Is that an
It's
Orioles
beautiful.
shirt?
It is repping the O's today. I know, even though we just got finished the draft, but we just love Baltimore, so we're gonna rep both teams today.
That's fine. That's completely fine. Well, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel, domandgonzsportstalk, where we talk about not only everything Baltimore Ravens, but around the NFL, but a lot of Ravens today. And yeah, we're here. I mean, my schedule's just been kicking my butt recently, and I know we said we were going to be back, but Dom, what are we doing? Are we going to really be back
We're
now,
gonna
or
really be back. We're gonna
are
really be
are we
back.
really though?
So we're back. We're back, ladies and gentlemen. We're sorry. We tried to get everything together, but with the draft for work, I had to help cover the draft and all that fancy stuff. So my schedule was just like abysmal. These past couple of days. So we really wanted to talk to you guys like after the draft because like there's a lot to break down, a lot to discuss. But we're back. We're here. We're gonna try to get it together, get it done, and that's all let's do it at this point. But we're
Good,
trying to stay
good.
positive.
Yeah. I mean, we wanted to do a pre-draft, but I don't know. We had our band festival trip last week, so I wasn't around last weekend at all. So I don't know. We're here. We're here. We're gonna just try to.
We're here now, though. We're here now.
We're really
So
sorry, everybody. We really are. We try. We really try to do this podcasting thing. We're gonna keep going. All right, we're gonna keep going. This is the comeback. It starts right now. All right. Yeah, you keep emoting over there.
yeah, I'm gonna try. I don't know how I keep activating these. I guess it just I don't know.
Well, the 2024 NFL draft has come and gone, and the Ravens had 9 picks, and they used all 9 of them. That was pretty
That
crazy.
was
Pretty crazy.
shocking. That was
But
very shocking.
overall, I think it was a pretty successful draft. I think they covered almost all their needs. Obviously getting the top needs being cornerback, offensive lineman, more specifically tackle, right tackle, wide receiver we were looking at to replace OBJ. And they got them all in the early rounds too. They covered all those needs in the first 4 rounds. So that's pretty good. And they also got another corner too. They got 2 corners. So that's pretty cool. So I'm excited. I thought it was pretty cool. I didn't do any pre-draft work because I've just been fully focused on my current job. So I didn't know who any of these guys were. But after doing some research on these people after we selected them, they look pretty good. They look pretty encouraging. So that's cool. What are your overall thoughts before we jump into each pick one by one?
Yeah, man, I think we had a successful draft. Just looking at the value that we got a lot of these guys at, like looking at mock drafts, like a lot of these guys were projected to go higher than where we got them. Like a lot of guys fell to us. And like just talk about the 2 corners we drafted. Like that second corner we drafted was also projected. Like we got him in the 4th round, I think.
Yep.
And he was projected to go higher than that. And I
TJ
was like,
Tampa.
TJ Tampa. Yeah, I was like, wow. I don't know if that was because of his 40, because I did hear reports that he ran like a 4.58 or something like that. So he might not be like the fastest corner, but I know he's a tough corner. So it's like the value that we got these guys at is absolutely incredible. So I have to say, I think this was a very well-rounded draft, and we addressed everything that we needed. We coming into this, we said offensive line, corner, wide receiver. We were able to using all 9 picks. I did not think we were going to use all 9 picks. Like I thought, like DaCosta, he loves to trade
No,
like
and
late,
no
like
moves
late
have
in
been
the
made.
yeah, like
Nothing.
he loves doing that like late round, 6th, 7th round trade that he usually
Yeah.
likes to do like in the later rounds. But no, we use all 9 picks, and Harbaugh said that the value of the player was better than any trade they could have got. So, I mean, I guess, they highly value every player they selected. So, I mean, I'm very encouraged with if the coaching staff and like the scouts and all that have the encouragement to like say, hey, I don't think we need to trade this pick. Let's just get this guy. I think the face should be warranted. So I think it was a good draft.
Okay. Cool. So there was a lot of speculation what the Ravens were going to do with that 30th overall pick. Are they going to trade back? Are they going to stay? Are they going to trade up? I don't know. Most likely not trade up. But they ended up standing pat, and they selected Nate Wiggins out of Clemson. Again, I had never heard of him. So I did some research after they drafted him on Thursday night, and looked pretty solid. The highlight videos that I was watching, he didn't look like he got super physical with these guys, but he was keeping up in coverage. He was backed off a lot, and but he wasn't giving up too much ground. One thing though that stood out to me though in that maybe it was just the 1-2 videos that I watched, and maybe it's I'm overthinking it. I saw him drop a lot of interceptions that were really easy, but obviously, if you drop an interception, that means you're playing good defense already. So you're sticking to your guy. So that's good. It does count as a pass breakup, as somebody told me on Friday. So I think that'll be cool. I think he could round into form. And then Eric DeCosta actually said that this was the best cover corner in the draft, and they were shocked that he fell that far. So if indeed, and then he goes ahead on his interview, Wiggins did on his first Ravens interview. Didn't he say he was like one of the top corners of the draft? I forget exactly.
Yeah,
what
he said he was the best corner in the draft.
He did. He said he was the best.
He said he was the best cover corner in the draft.
All right, young man, you better put your money where your mouth is, because that is a high standard to set yourself at.
He's 20. He's 20 years old.
Okay, well,
20.
Wow,
that's crazy.
I'm
a lot
25.
of confidence.
I'm 5 years older than this kid. Holy crap!
Only 20 years old, man.
Wow, that's
a lot of confidence.
insane. Well, lock it down, bro. Lock it down. I think he plays mainly outside, right? I
mostly outside. Most of the highlights I've seen from him, he's playing in the outside.
Cool. So we can be flexible with what we do with some of our guys. Then if he can rotate in and out of the lineup on outside, so maybe that we could move Marlowe into the slot for some plays, and then we still got Brandon Stevens too, and Arthur Millette, who plays slot. Don't forget we re-signed him a few weeks ago.
Our good blitzing corner.
Suddenly,
love it.
We've got some depth at cornerback, which is good.
Really good.
Dom was loving.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
No Adoree Jackson or any of that. I think this is better. I understand he's a vet, but I think going young in the draft, early rounds, especially in the first round, getting a young corner off of a great school like Clemson, I think that's fine. I'm content with that pick as a first round.
Yeah, absolutely.
Just don't drop your interceptions if it's thrown right to you. That's all.
Yeah, absolutely. I can't even disagree with you here. I think Nate Wiggins was a great pick. Dude ran a 4.28 at the combine. He is fast. He's really fast. So he's going to catch up with a lot of guys in coverage. I don't know if you saw like a highlight I saw from him when he had like a chase down on, I forgot what school they were playing, but he had the guy was like yards ahead of everybody, and Wiggins caught up, had a chase down, knocked the ball out, causing a fumble. I was like, so he hustles. The kid is good. The kid is fast, man.
I did see that play. That was nice.
Yeah, he is clutch. So it's going to be really interesting to see how they utilize him, in the defense. And this is going to be a very interesting puzzle piece for Zach Orr heading into this in his first year as defensive coordinator. I think they're setting him up for success really with this first pick. I mean, Wiggins, and then he's coming in here with a lot of confidence. He's saying, listen, man, I'm like that. I am him. I was the best corner in this draft. You guys will not regret taking me. Let's get to work. And he's trying to prove that. So it's going to be very interesting to see how he fits in with this team. He can try to catch up with the Jalen Waddles and the Hills and all those guys out there with the speed guys. The Chiefs just got Xavier Worthy and Marquise Brown, so he can help cover those guys. He's going to be crucial for us. Like you said, we can move Marlowe in the slot if we need to. We can have Wiggins play outside. It's going to be very interesting to see where he fits in. Like you, this is my first time hearing about him because I honestly thought we were going to pick up Kool-Aid McKinstry. Everybody had us picking up Kool-Aid McKinstry with that 30th pick, but like you said, the Ravens thought that this guy was the best corner in the draft. They were surprised he fell that late. So, I mean, it took them like 7 seconds. I don't know if anybody else saw, but it took the Ravens like 7 seconds to put that pick in. Like, it did not take them
Must
long.
have been on their radar
Yeah,
for a
it
while.
did not take them long to be like, listen, man, we know who we're getting. Just put the card in. It was so they got their guy. I'm happy about it. I love this corner depth. I thought we were gonna sign like a vet because we love to sign the vets going into the next season. But I mean, I'm happy with this. I'm happy about us getting younger. We got guys on cheap deals for the next couple of years. I mean, I'm all for it.
Yeah. Oh, and by the way, before we continue with the draft, Rashad Bateman was extended just
Oh
a day
yes,
before the
yes,
draft.
yes.
Like it or not, Batman, or I
The
don't like
bait
to call him
signal,
that.
the
I'm not
bait
going to call
signal
him
was
that
reflected.
because he needs to get 1,000 yards and 10 touchdowns before he earns that nickname from me.
Listen, man,
But
the bait
Rashad
signal is still
Bateman is
running
in
over the bank.
Baltimore through 27, right? Or no, 26.
226,
Through 26.
yes.
So that's pretty crazy.
Yeah.
All the speculation about is he a legit receiver? Is he a legit wide receiver one? Doesn't matter. The Ravens signed him. So
Yeah,
there we go.
the constant Harbaugh keeps saying they've had their faith in him, and they're not giving up on him. So they're carrying him past his uh, fifth-year option, and they're just going at it. So I'm hoping that this year is his year to really make some noise because I mean, he had a lot of separation last year. He just wasn't getting the ball.
Well,
So
the chemistry was
yeah,
not there on the deep ball.
it was not.
I don't know what it was, but he just kept chucking it to Bateman, and Lamar just is not on the same
Yeah,
page. Get that fixed.
please
If
get
you're going
that
to stay
fixed.
on the team, get that fixed.
Please.
No, please, get that fixed. No, please.
But
But
yeah,
anyway, yeah. So round one, Nate Wiggins, not too shabby, not bad pick at all. Fulfills a big need, because that was one of the biggest things on my radar coming into the offseason this year. Second round, they go O lineman, and they get, what was his name? Roger
Roger
Rosengard out of
Rosengard.
Washington. Now, mind you, Washington's offensive line was one of the top in college football last year. I mean, they just have studs across the board. And he played right tackle. He played number 70. He was number 73 on that O line. Not a very big dude, but he was getting it done over there. I mean, he did not allow a single sack in his college career. Wait, well, I may be
Well,
last year.
out of like 1,500 plus snaps, he
Okay,
didn't allow a
is
single
that his
sack.
career in college?
I believe because he played all 13 games these past 2 years. I know in
Okay,
his first year he only played like a couple of games, but I know these last 2 years he played all 13 games. And I think in those 13 games he didn't allow a single sack on his side.
I mean that is insane. I mean,
That's
listen,
incredible.
ladies and gentlemen, if you don't understand what I'm saying, 2 full seasons of college football not giving up a sack on your
That's
quarterback
just
is
incredible.
absolutely
Michael
bonkers.
Penix, Michael
When I
Penix was a
saw that
left-handed
stat, I
QB.
was like, okay, that's
Yeah.
pretty damn tough.
Michael
That's
Penix
pretty.
is a left-handed quarterback, which meaning that Rosengarten was guarding his blind side.
So
So
basically, the left tackle for standard quarterbacks in a way. We losing Dom here. Well, anyway, while he's buffering, yes, Michael Penix, the quarterback for Washington Huskies, was a left-handed quarterback, meaning that the right tackle was the blind side. Normally, all the quarterbacks are usually, for the most part, right-handed, so the left tackle is the blind side. But right tackle was blindside in this case, and he did a very nice job protecting that. Looks like my partner disappeared. He'll be back on in just a minute. But he makes up for his ground, even though he's not a huge dude. He makes up with his technique. I saw him holding the fort down on that right side, putting people down. Bigger defenders, he was holding up and trampling to the ground at times. I mean, that's what you want out of an O-lineman. And I think that's what what the Ravens saw in him when they decided to draft him. So, again, another big need that we have addressed after Morgan Moses was sent away to the Jets a couple weeks before the draft for that fourth-round pick that we ended up getting one of those two guys with. So I don't mind going younger with the offensive line. I think it's a good idea. It's a cheaper deal, and he's got lots of upside here. Hopefully he can keep it going and develop into one of the premier right tackles of this league. So I'm excited about the pick. I think it'll be a good one. And yeah, very satisfied for the first 2 rounds. We'll wait, give Dom a second to get back in here before we move on to our round 3 selection. So hopefully he gets back in here in just a minute. But I'll go ahead and start moving on. We can backtrack if we need to when he gets back in here. So round 3, we selected another Penn State edge rusher, and that guy's name was Adisa Isaac. I don't know if I'm saying his first name right. Edge rusher out of Penn State. So that's the Ravens' second edge rusher out of Penn State. Here he comes to pair with Odafe Owe. If you guys didn't already know, Odafe Owe was selected back in 21. So the Ravens, I don't know, they have their eyes set on edge rushers out of Penn State, which is fine with me. I mean, edge rushers out of one of the best defenses in college football is completely fine with me. Penn State always kicks butt on defense each and every year. That's their focal point. That's why they're always up there in the top teams, because of their defense. There's Dom. I don't know. You must have lagged out or something.
Yeah, my phone overheated. Sorry, guys.
Well, welcome back. But I started talking about Adisa Isaac.
Oh, yeah.
If you have comments from Roger Rosengarten real quick.
Yeah, I mean, I think, yeah, but my final thoughts on Rosen, yeah, he's going to be a great fit. He can slide right into that right tackle spot where we traded Morgan Moses. So I feel like he can really compete for that spot. I know they said it's going to be a competition for who's going to start, but I feel as though it's probably going to be him either way. But yeah, I think Rosengarten was a solid pick in 2.
Yes, fulfills a right need. And I said earlier, while you were gone, it fulfills that void that Morgan Moses left when they traded with the Jets.
Absolutely.
So I don't mind going younger. I think it's perfectly fine. He can develop into one of the premier right tackles in this league. And I also said that he makes up for his little bit smaller size with his technique, and he's very athletic too. He can pull and really get to the second level pretty quickly, and hold up those bigger defensive linemen if needed. I mean, I saw some pancakes and some just straight holds, not the bad kind of holds, not the penalty holds, the holds where you're just stonewalled right there and the quarterback has a clean pocket. So very nice job by him. So yeah, I just talked a little bit about Adisa Isaac, our edge rusher out of Penn State, and that the fact that that's our second one chosen in the past 4 years. Odafe Owe was another edge rusher that they chose in 21. So they like these Penn State linemen. I mean, and I was just saying as you walked in, Penn State's one of the top defenses in the college football each and every year. Coach Jamie Franklin does a good job with that defense. So I don't mind picking from them. I mean, that's where Joey Porter came from last year for the Steelers. I mean, they've got a lot of studs on defense. So I'm hoping that this guy can do something. I read he has 14 and a half career sacks. Not sure how long he's been playing. But if he's only been playing 2 years, 14 sacks is not terrible. I don't know. Hopefully we'll say, I don't know. I have to do a little bit more work on him. But edge rusher, I mean, yeah. Since the departure of Jadeveon Clowney, I would be okay with getting an edge rusher. I know that's what you were saying earlier. I mean, they got Kyle Van Noy back. I mean, this would fulfill and give some competition to the rest of those guys, Owe and David Ajabo. So this should be a wake-up call for David Ajabo, like big time, because we need to see something. Because we've got another young guy coming in here ready to prove something. He's a round 3 prick. I mean, there's sleepers out of rounds 3 and 4 all the time. So Ajabo doesn't want to get buried under that. So we'll see. I'm fine with the pick. I mean, it's all good. I would have been okay with a wide receiver, but they ended up addressing that in the next round. But, yeah, what do you think about this guy?
Yeah, I think he was a good pick. I know that, like you said, Ajabo, he hasn't really been able to be on the field, and DaCosta has not spoken on if they're going to pick up Odafe Owe's fifth-year option yet. So I know that's another pause for cause. I think Adisa will fare well. I mean, as far as selecting him, I know Chuck Smith said he was very big on him as far as picking like an outside linebacker to rush the quarterback. Chuck Smith was on his list on guys that he wanted. So, I mean, and Chuck Smith, I mean, you saw what he was able to help with last year. I mean, we led the league in sacks for a reason. So, I mean, if there's any knowledge that he's passing down, there's any guys that he likes that he thinks is going to be beneficial to the team, I'm listening. Just like the Kaiser said, he defers to him, and he listens, and he gets the job done. So if Chuck Smith's like this guy, I'm all with it. He seems like a really humble kid. He said he wants to sack Josh Allen and Patrick Mahomes. He said he's eager for that. So I'm like, hey, man, listen. When it comes to, if we get to these playoffs and you see Mahomes, I hope you're as eager as you want. Actually, no, because we're going to see Mahomes in the regular season too. So either way, you're going to see him at some point. So I hope you are eager to get that. So what?
Not looking forward to it.
I'm not either, but we'll have to see where that goes when we get to it.
I believe they lost the Super Bowl. Oh,
God. But yeah, I think Adisa Isaac was I think he's a solid pick. I think he's going to come in and fit in very, very well. I mean, these are just positions that I knew we were going to have to continue to get younger at. I mean, Van Noy, we have Van Noy on a 2-year deal. So, but I know, like, once he's done, there's going to have to be a reassurance plan at the end of the day. And I know that if we develop these rushers to what we want them to be, and hopefully if we can get Ojabo to be that guy, I mean, I don't really see an issue with it. So I think the Adisa Isaac pick was solid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I said, I'm fine with Ed Rusher. You can't get enough depth at those positions, so that's completely fine with me. All right, next we get to the fun one. Devontae Walker in round 4 out of NC State, the Tar Heels, right? Is that where he came?
Yeah. I believe so, NC.
Yeah. Yeah, pretty good. Not a bad pick. He's a bigger type of guy. And one thing that really stood out to me when I was watching videos about him is he gets tough yak. I mean, he breaks a lot of tackles after the ball's in his hands. So he's a big play threat. And I also saw didn't he average like 16 yards per catch?
I believe so. I don't remember the exact stat, but I know it was something outrageous.
Pretty damn good. I mean, you're a big play threat if you're averaging 16 yards per reception. I mean, that's a first down and a half, ladies and gentlemen, if you don't know what that is. But that's pretty cool. I mean, so this guy could, we need more wideouts, needed somebody to fill the void. I think he could definitely compete for a high depth chart spot with Tyler Wallace and Deontay Hardy. And I think the other big three are set in stone. Zay Flowers, Aguilar, and Bateman. But he could definitely chip in and go for that wide receiver 4 spot for sure.
I don't see why not.
So I'm excited to see what he can do this summer and in the preseason. But yeah, I think that's a good one. So far, I mean, again, I don't know. I mean, we can only speculate at this point. I don't know how these guys are going to transition to the NFL, how they're going to play when it matters. But the Ravens are filling the need so far, right when we exactly what we need. They're not picking maybe they are doing the little best man available thing that they always do, but they're checking off each of those important needs so far that we've been going over in the past 3 months. Like, how do we improve this team? So, again, completely fine with it. Hopefully all the best for him. Hopefully he can average 16 yards and catch in the NFL for us, and that would be really nice.
I would love it.
So we'll see.
I love it.
Crowded offensive wide receiver room, so we'll see how he goes.
Yeah,
I'm cool with it.
Yeah, I think it was a great pick. Funny thing is, he was one of the only receivers to catch like a deep touchdown pass over our newly acquired corner, Nate Wiggins. So, which is also funny. So now they go from rivals to teammates. So now they get to go at each other again in practice.
I was
even more funny.
Watching Graven Vids earlier today, and he said that Nate Wiggins only gave up one pass over 20 yards.
That was to him.
Really? Okay.
Yes, that was to him. That was to Devontae Walker. So it's going to be funny to see
Walker missed time this year too. I forgot to say.
I believe he did. Yeah, because he had a torn ACL, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, yeah, I think it was a great pick, a great jump ball guy. He ran a 4.36, so he's pretty quick. He's not really slow. He's pretty fast for like a jump ball type of receiver. He's tough, like you said. He gets yak. Like I love the pick for us. Like you said, I feel like we can try to. Bateman, I feel like can now be utilized more in those intermediate throws, and then we could try to slide Walker into like our deep ball guy per se. I kind of like that for us. I feel like we could utilize him in the offense a lot better. But yeah, I love the Walker pick. I feel like he's like the receivers were kind of flying, like as the later rounds kept going. So I was like, oh shoot, I don't know if we're gonna get a good one. 'Cause I saw like a Donnie Mitchell went and all those other guys, but with Walker, I think we can solidify a good wide receiver for. I don't know, maybe he can slide into that wide receiver 3, depending on how he does in camp. I mean, we'll see how he does in camp. I mean, we don't know yet for sure because Aguilar's kind of already been proven, but as far as like where he can fit in the depth chart, I mean, shoot, man. I mean, Deontay Hardy's going to be our return specialist guy. Wallace is really good on special teams, so I don't see why he can't slide into maybe that 3 spot and be like a force off the first week. So we'll see. I mean, we hear good things about him. So I know the one. I know the one. You said what?
I was just saying he's going to have a dominant summer and preseason for that to happen.
Yeah, for sure. I know one. I heard one of the faults about him was his route running. I know that was a little like one of the things, but I mean, I'm hoping that the way I know the Ravens don't have the greatest track record when it comes to developing receivers, but I'm hoping with him that could probably change and we could try to get his skills solidified. But as far as the receiver is concerned, I'm not mad at that pick.
Just catch the ball. That's all you got to do.
That's all you got to do is catch the ball.
And run the ball in the playoffs.
Yes, please.
Oh, don't forget, we got Derrick Henry, just in case you did forget. All right, anyway. Round 4, it's Dom's guy. I'm going to let Dom talk about this because I don't know this guy hardly at all, and I haven't watched any videos on him. TJ Tampa out of Iowa State, and I believe that's the pick from the Jets, isn't it? For the
what? I thought TJ Tampa was the 5th round pick. Oh wait, no, we got him we got 2 4th round picks.
Right,
I'm sorry.
and
we got 2 4th round picks.
Your Jets for the for Morgan Moses.
Morgan Moses trade.
Yeah. So what's so cool about this guy? I don't know him at all.
Well, I'm just learning like you are. I just learned about him as well as I was like, after we picked him. And like I said, this guy was projected high to go higher. And he's not the fastest guy. He ran, like I said earlier, he ran a 4.58 at the combine. So he's not the fastest guy, but I know he's like a really tough corner. Like he's really strong. I feel like he's one of those guys who can who can really press the receiver at the line, jam a receiver at the line, knock a guy off his route maybe. I just feel like what I'm hearing is he's a really solid corner. And the fact that the Ravens were able to swoop in and snatch him was he fell. He fell really, really far than a lot of people anticipated. So I'm hearing a lot of good things about him, which makes me excited because if he was projected to go high, we swooped in. He was our 2nd, 4th round pick. I've just been very impressed from what I've heard so far. I haven't watched any tape, so I really don't know what he's like on the field. But from what I'm hearing from guys is that he's a really solid, tough corner that can really his speed doesn't really matter to the fact that he can really stop a receiver from getting the ball. So I'm hoping that he can show those skills in camp and we can slide him in because I feel as though he would be nice to have out there on the field.
Cool. You think you lay the sticks on some of these guys?
I'm hoping so. He can lay the smack on somebody.
How tall is he?
Man, I think he's like 6 feet. I think he's like 6 or 6'1", something like that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So he's pretty tall. He can go up there and get it if he needs to. Probably contest some passes. I'm hoping so. Hopefully on T. Higgins, when we run into him. And
if he is still around.
That is true, too, if he doesn't get traded. So we'll see how that goes.
I don't know if y'all saw that, but a couple days ago, him and Trey Hendrickson were requesting trades.
Oh, yeah. I forgot about Trey. He wanted to be traded, too. Yeah. The downfall of the Bengals is so fun to watch.
On down to Baltimore. We could use them. We could use both of them.
Bengals would rather trade them to anybody else.
As long as they don't go to Pittsburgh.
Yes, please, for the love of God.
Yeah. Speaking of Pittsburgh, they just got O-line. They just got a whole O-line in the draft. Did you see that?
Yeah, I know. They're trying to stack up protection for either Russell Wilson or Justin Fields, whoever the hell is going to start.
Russell Wilson's not good. I hope I'm right.
He says that, and Russell Wilson throws for God no.
I mean, he's 38 years old, isn't he? Isn't he 30 or 37?
Yeah, he's like 36, 37, one of those.
It's time to quit soon. But anyway, let's go to round 5. A running back selected out of Marshall, Rasheen Ali. So, again, not sure about how this guy is. I believe he's one of the quicker guys.
Yeah.
I'm not sure. I'm looking it up right now. I only looked at him very briefly. 4.4. So not the slowest, not the fastest. He was the 18th ranked running back at the combine. So not bad. 4.4. I think this has an opportunity to bring just another person to be competitive in that backfield. I feel like the Ravens' backfield is set.
Yeah.
So this could
Pretty solidified
probably
at
be
this
a
point.
practice squad player. I don't know how dynamic this guy is, but if he's going to be the next Keaton Mitchell, and if the real Keaton Mitchell is not quite ready yet, you could see some maybe a fill in for him until he gets back. Because you guys, if you don't remember, Keaton Mitchell tore his ACL in December and MCL against the Jags on that Sunday night game. So hopefully he gets back in time for the season, but there might be a chance with these injuries that they're not. So I don't know. So in 2023, he led the team going back to Ali. He led his team with 1,135 rushing yards, averaging 5.4 yards per carry, and 15 touchdowns. And
5.4 yards per carry?
5.4 yards per carry.
That's not
Played
bad.
in 12 games total. He missed one. And for receptions, he had 28 catches for 213 and one score. But in the 24 Senior Bowl, he suffered a ruptured biceps tendon. So he's dealing with an injury, it seems. So he might not play.
I mean, maybe. I mean, he also could be like lightning in a bottle, like how Keaton was.
Right.
We would have never known about Keaton. Like, we'll see what he does if we keep him around for the preseason games. We'll see how he does for the preseason. But I mean, he seems like a solid back, almost 5 yards a pop, like almost damn near 6 yards a pop. That's not bad at all.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he seems like he's going to be.
Now,
yeah, it's not bad at all.
Yeah, maybe he just is somebody that fell down because of an injury. I don't know. Maybe he's better than 5th round. We'll
Maybe.
see. Always get one running back in the draft.
Because like all the running backs this year, I mean, the first running back got taken like super late. So I mean, I feel like these GMs didn't really value a lot of these running backs this year. You know, so. But I feel like he could be somebody who, like I said, like maybe another Keaton Mitchell. I mean, he wasn't undrafted, but he was drafted. But like somebody else who could, if somebody, God forbid, if somebody were to go down, then we have someone who we can bring up from the practice squad or somebody else just to have.
I didn't mention this. In 2021, he earned first team All-Conference USA, team's MVP. He led the FBS with 25 total touchdowns, 23 rushing, 1 receiver, and 1 kick return. And he ranked 10th in the end with 1,400 yards rushing. So his best season was in 2021. 2022, he took a leave of absence, only played 3 games. And then 23 was the stats I read to you at the beginning. So he looks like he's had some really good production for Marshall. So I don't know. I mean, again, let's see how
he could be a stud.
He could looks like
stud. We'll see.
He'd be explosive. So cool. Again, they've already addressed all the needs that I've wanted, so it's kind of just icing on the cake for me at least, for the rest of the draft. And then they got a compensatory pick from the Jets. For who? I don't remember. Who did they trade? Who else did they trade to the Jets?
Chuck Clark.
That's right. But wasn't he hurt?
No. He wasn't hurt before he got traded. He got hurt, I think, during like that training camp for the Jets.
Oh, okay. Well, they just got a potential backup quarterback, Devin Leary, out of Kentucky. Their starting quarterback from Kentucky. Again, don't know much about him. What do you think? Do you know anything about him?
Well, he breaks the Ravens pattern of black quarterbacks, so that's kind of interesting.
I was going to take that, but I didn't. Never mind.
That was interesting to me. But I heard one from, this is just from a tweet. I don't know much about the guy, but this is from a tweet who said that he's accurate as hell. So I'll take that as from like one of those scouts out there who said he was super accurate. And I know during his Ravens presser after he got drafted, he said that one of the things about him is that he has very dynamic arm talent. So I mean, I don't know. I mean, I feel like that'd be a good piece. I know Harbaugh said that right now is going to be Josh Johnson as QB2, and then Leary will probably slide into that QB3 spot if need be. And I know we also still have Malik Cunningham as well
Oh yeah.
on the squad. So honestly, in my opinion, and this is no diss at Josh Johnson, I know he's been around. I probably would have preferred if he would have kept Huntley, and then maybe Josh Johnson, be the guy we
Well,
hit
they
the
didn't want
decisions.
to pay for Huntley because Huntley's been productive at times as the backup.
I mean, and that's fair.
Yeah.
I mean, Huntley's earned his money. Let's not get it twisted. Huntley has earned his money. He's been a solid backup for years. But I'm saying, like, I would have been a little bit happier if we had Lamar and then Huntley and then Larry and then Cunningham. You know what I mean? Like, I would have been okay with that. But as far as Larry is concerned, I think he'll fit in. Well, I haven't seen a white quarterback for us since we last seen Flacco. But but other than that, I think it's fine. If he's accurate as people are saying he is, and he's saying he has the arm talent that he said he has, I'm all
The
for it.
one thing I am concerned about is the interceptions. I mean, in 2022, well, in 2021, ranked 10th in the FBS again, just like his fellow running back from Marshall in the same conference with 35 passing touchdowns. Started all 12 games, 35 touchdowns and 5 picks. Phenomenal. That's a really good season. 2022, started first 6, had 11 TDs, 4 interceptions, missed the second half of the season with torn right pectoral muscle. And then in 2023, he started all 13 games again, 2,700 yards, 25 TDs, and 12 picks. That's not so good. I mean, it's okay. It's still above a 2-to-1 ratio, but 12 interceptions in 13 games is not the best. So it's interesting.
Yeah, it's basically a pick a game.
He writes with his left hand, but he throws with his right hand. That was just a little nugget they put in here.
Ambidextrous?
Maybe. I don't know. Donovan is his brother? That's the name of a white guy? I don't think that might be a typo. Plays quarterback in Illinois. But anyway, so yeah, not so good 2023 season. Phenomenal 21 season. So I don't know. I don't know what to expect out of this guy.
Well, do you see any rush yards? From him? Does he run at all? Like, does he scramble?
He runs a little. Let me see. Nothing that stood out to me.
No.
3 rushing touchdowns, 1 rushing in 23.
Yeah, so he's probably like short yardage situations or something like that.
Say any in the 2021 season. So I think he's a slinger and maybe
pocket passer. Yeah.
So, which is weird because we don't draft slingers anymore.
I'm saying, like, yeah, that's what I'm saying. He's an intriguing pick,
he'll get a lot
to say the least
in the preseason, though.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see what he can do. I mean, it would be nice to have that. Like, if we can have somebody on the bench who could do that, like outside, because Lamar can kind of do both. So we can have somebody who can like be that pocket presence. I mean, I'm okay with that too.
Yeah. Well, we'll see.
Yeah,
we'll see. We can speculate at this point. We're getting down to the final 2 picks, 2 round 7 selections. I'm just going to combine them both. They got another center, Nick Samick from Michigan State, and that safety, Sanusi Kane from Purdue. Now, I
like the safety pick.
What
Yes.
was so? Again, no idea who this guy was.
I like
and they drafted
the safety pick.
What about Kane stood out to you?
It's just, again, these are all things I'm hearing. Like, this is all just from stuff that I hear. I heard like his coach talk about Kane, like he's just all about football. Like the kid is he's very serious about football. he's just like a really good player. And plus, he's giving me the fact that we took a safety in round 7. He's giving me Geno Stone vibes a little bit.
Stone selected 6th.
He was a 7th round pick.
Really?
Yeah, he was a 7th round pick. So
All right, Geno.
that's what I'm saying. He gives me like 7. He's giving me Geno Stone vibes. The fact that we picked him in round 7. But yeah, I just from what I've heard, this kid is really, really good. Like he's a really good sound kid, great football player. And plus it was a need. It was another need. We only had 3 safeties on the depth chart. And I know the way we like to play, like I know we like to have like Marcus Williams up top, absolutely. I know Geno was playing a lot up top last year. I know between like when Marcus Williams was hurt, but I know Geno was still in that role. And then we love to have Kyle Hamilton in the box, to stop the runs and all that jazz. So the fact that we can still have that depth. If Kane turns out to be who we want him to be, or because we also just signed a Maryland, right in your crib, by the way, a UMD safety, who is also pretty tough. So
free agent, when was that?
Yeah, we just signed him. I don't know if it was yesterday or today.
Nice.
But we just signed, UMD safety. It was pretty tough. Now they're going into like the Maryland talent. But you said what?
You know his name?
I think it was like Bo Bade, or something like that. Beau, Bade, I think.
Morgan State University DN signs with Ravens.
Oh, shoot, Morgan.
All right, sorry. Now I'm just looking on Twitter. Who are this guy's name? Oh my God, we signed a ton of people.
We signed a lot of guys.
Bo Braid, yes.
Bo Braid.
Braid. Yes.
Yeah, so straight out of UMD. So we're getting these safeties. I knew safety was going to be a need. Either one of them, I'm fine. Whoever makes the roster. I know Bo. I hear a lot. He's like a hard hitter. He likes to punch dudes. Not really punch dudes, but you know what I mean. Like he can lay down a hit stick. So I'm okay with either pick, but I just know that we needed the depth of safety, and I feel like these are 2 quality guys who can most likely fit the roster, who can probably make the 53. So I mean, I was definitely cool with the Kane pick. As far as like the center we drafted, I don't know too much about him, but I know that he can like play at center to back up Linderbaum. I know that's what DaCosta was pretty much saying he could do, but I know he can also like traverse into like the guard role, like so he can switch in and out. So I mean, I'm happy to have that depth as well. Either way.
Yeah, we'll say because Linderbaum's got that locked down.
Yeah.
But anyway, I apologize for not being educated on some of these later picks. I haven't had a chance to look at them. I was focused on the top 4 picks. But yeah, that wraps it up for the Ravens draft. 9 rookies and some undrafted free agents. So a lot of new faces in the Under Armour Performance Center for this next few months to see what they can do. Give them a shot to see what they can prove to Baltimore and see if they can get any sleepers sneak onto the roster in August. Because before you know it, it'll be preseason, and it'll be time for cuts, and then it'll be time for week 1. So the next step on this off-season journey is going to be,
the post-June cuts.
Nope, you skipped one.
Well, I skipped. Where did I skip?
In May, we've got the schedule release.
Oh yeah, schedule release. I forgot about that. That's going to be
the next big thing on our list, and I break that down because guys, May is on Tuesday or on Wednesday. So
what if they're going to do like some cheap stuff and make us play the Chiefs week 1?
I have a feeling they could be Ravens Chiefs on Thursday Night Football week 1.
Like I just feel like they're gonna do some craziness. Like honestly, if we can get that game out the way early, I'm completely fine with that.
Yeah, I would too, honestly. But
I'm completely fine with that.
Embarrassed on national television.
I don't think we will. He didn't even score on us in
the. Yep. I know. We should have won. Didn't
even score on us in the second half. I'm still mad about that game.
This season's going to be our revenge tour.
I hope so. I hope so, man.
This is something we could talk in another episode, but I think there needs to be a lot of change if they don't win the Super Bowl this year. I think.
So how would you grade?
I don't want to go there, but anyway, back to the draft.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
How would you grade the Ravens' draft?
I would say B+. Maybe A-. I'll say B+.
I would say in that same range, A minus, B plus.
Yeah, it was not. It was more than just an average draft. I thought it was above average draft, but I don't think it was a complete. Oh my gosh, we are instantly. These are day one starters, every single one of them. Um, I think they did enough though to satisfy their needs. They can develop these young guys, and they have an opportunity to contribute to this team. I'm hoping that at least Nate Wiggins and possibly the right tackle, Roger Rosenford. I am sorry.
Rosen.
What is his name?
Roger Rosengarten.
Rosengard. Sorry. um, I'm sorry. His name is very long. My fault. My fault. He potentially could be a week one starter as well at right tackle. It depends on what happens. Who competes with him in the off season?
I feel like him and Wiggins are like. And
No,
also, I would
going to start, yeah, or be a
probably
rotation.
would put. I think the first 4 picks are most likely starting. Most likely, it's not a guarantee, but if there was like a meter, I would put them 4 on like the lighter side of they're probably going to start.
The edge rusher might get some time, some rotational snaps. Like because don't forget they still got Tavius Robinson, who was also drafted in the 3rd round last year.
It's also true. Yeah, we did draft him last year.
So I don't know, and he didn't get too many looks. So we'll see. We'll see. But
yeah, I think it was a solid draft, man.
We are moving to the off season.
Yeah.
I mean, next to schedule release,
there are still some free agents out there.
Oh yeah.
We don't know, but we'll see.
I don't think we go for any of the guys we got unless there's an injury.
Right.
I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what Eric.
We'll see.
But I'm excited. This was cool. Nice little flash of football in the off season. Get you thinking down the road. Yeah, I'll be ready to break down that schedule release. Do our way too early game by game predictions. We'll see if I can be spot on like I was last year at 13-4. That was excellent.
I was one game off.
Now, did I pick
the right game off?
Win and lose? No, but I was right on the record. I was right on the record.
You were right on the record. God, I definitely said we were going 14-3. If we would have freaking lost that last game to the Steelers, I would have been right. I was off by one freaking game, dude. We lost to the freaking Steelers in the last game of the season. It didn't matter. We already locked up the 1 seed, so I know it didn't really matter, but
we got to them because they starting to talk crap. But I will stand up to this every moment I get. If we are guaranteed to make it farther than them every single year and lose every year to them, I don't care. It's fine.
I'm about to say, because, I mean, they made the playoffs, but they got bounced in the first round, so it doesn't really matter.
Over and over again, have 0 chance at the Super Bowl? No. So it's fine. Their team's not very good anyway. I don't care if they have their number. They're not good enough to go far in the playoffs. So it's fine.
That's all that matters.
You saw what the Bills did to them. It was pretty bad.
They did get shellacked.
Yeah. So, yeah. Well, we're back. Dom, we got to be more consistent, all right? So we'll do
We're going to work. We're going to work. We swear we're going to work on it.
We'll see you next weekend. We're going to come up with some fun stuff to talk about. I'm going to break down my point a little bit more about what I just said. If we don't win the Super Bowl this year, there's going to be changes. I would love to go into that. I have a whole story for Dom about that. So there's plenty of stuff to talk about. We'll scheme some things up, make some nice game plans, and we'll be ready. We'll be ready. The Ravens will be ready. And we thank you guys for rocking with us this afternoon on a nice Sunday afternoon. So as we approach the Monday grind. So I'm glad we were able to get this done. Well, we can go ahead and wrap up. Anything else I missed or anything you want to add before we go ahead and do the outro?
Nah, man. I think, like I said, I think you covered everything on the nose.
All right.
Solid draft.
Well, guys, thanks again for rocking with us. If you enjoyed this on YouTube, I think Dom's going to put this on YouTube, right, when he gets home.
Mm-hmm.
This will be up on YouTube. If you're watching from there, please leave a like and a subscription if you enjoyed. Please comment down below. Were you satisfied with your team's draft? Give us some ideas you want us to talk about, too. That's another thing. Comment down below some topics you want us to address. We would love to cover some things. But we don't have to be the ones to make up everything we want to do for each episode. We would love to hear feedback. Like if you want us to break down some Green Bay Packers roster moves, I'll look it up and talk about it. That was completely random. If you want us to break down why the Cowboys are in trouble, because they are with Jerry Jones, because he's senile, we'll talk about that. But
Or why the Falcons drafted Michael Penix at 8.
oh, that's a fun one. Oh, see, we got plenty of stuff to talk about next week. We have so many things that we could bring up. But yeah, leave it down below. Leave it down below. We really want. We're gonna. I mean, it's kind of hard to ask people to be active in comments when we're not active, so we need to do better as well. Right.
We're gonna work on it.
Yeah. Yep. Our standards are high. But anyway, yes. So please spread the word. We would love it. I know we're gonna do better to do more, be more productive, and we will. But we appreciate people who rock with us, even on IG Live as we're doing it right now. So thank you for spending time with us. So yeah, we're gonna get up on out of here. This is Dom and Gonz. I'm Gonz. That's Dom, and we're gonna be signing out. Have a good night, and go Ravens.